The day began with a silence only the Arctic can offer. It was a silence so deep, it felt as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for something unseen to stir. Our vessel, the Northern Wanderer, glided through polished steel waters beneath a vast, endless sky. The boat seemed almost weightless, barely disturbing the mirror-like surface as we pressed forward into the unknown. Icebergs drifted like ancient giants, majestic and indifferent. Their silent passage reminded us of the age and power of this frozen realm, each one a monument to time and endurance. The air was crisp, biting, and exhilarating, a perfect day for exploration. Every breath felt pure, sharp, and alive, filling us with anticipation for what lay ahead. We charted a remote coastline, spirits high, the crew confident and prepared. Laughter and conversation drifted across the deck, mingling with the calls of distant seabirds. The rare Arctic sunshine cast an ethereal glow, making every detail sharper. Ice crystals sparkled on the railings, and the landscape seemed almost otherworldly in its clarity. I watched beluga whales surface nearby, their white forms ghosting through the dark water, a reminder of the Arctic's magic. Their presence felt like a blessing, a fleeting glimpse into the wild heart of this place. But beauty here is always edged with danger. The Arctic never lets you forget how quickly conditions can shift. Complacency is a killer in this wilderness. Even the most experienced explorers know that respect for the environment is not optional. It's essential for survival. Our plan was simple: follow the coast, take soundings, document wildlife. Each task felt routine, but we knew that routine could be shattered in an instant. Everything felt routine, almost easy. The crew relaxed, lulled by the gentle rhythm of the waves and the deceptive peace of the day. But the Arctic lulls you into a false sense of security. Its calm is only a mask, hiding the true nature of this wild frontier. Beneath the calm, a formidable power always waits. The sky can darken in moments, and the sea can turn from glass to fury without warning. We were about to be reminded, brutally, how quickly everything can change. In the Arctic, the line between tranquility and chaos is razor thin. The first sign of trouble was subtle, a shift in the wind's tone, a heaviness in the air. It was the kind of change you feel before you see, a tension that prickles along your skin and makes you pause, listening for something just out of reach. The sky darkened at the horizon, streaked with gray. The light faded, and the world seemed to shrink, the vastness of the Arctic closing in around us. The birds vanished, nature was holding its breath. Even the ever-present cries of gulls fell silent, as if the entire landscape was waiting for what would come next. Lars tapped the barometer. "She's dropping, fast." His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of concern. A falling barometer, the classic warning of an Arctic storm. It's a language sailors know well, a message from the elements that demands respect. Instantly, we moved into storm prep. No panic, just urgent, practiced action. Every movement was deliberate, honed by experience and necessity. Loose gear secured, hatches battened, everyone focused. The routine was almost comforting, a way to keep fear at bay. The sea changed, waves growing choppy, the water darkening to a menacing gray. The rhythm of the ocean shifted, each swell more unpredictable than the last. The sun disappeared behind thickening clouds. Warmth and color drained from the world. The temperature dropped, and the air felt sharper, more hostile. The sense of being a welcome guest faded, replaced by the chill of being an intruder. The Arctic was reminding us that we were here on its terms, not ours. Fear crept in, but we harnessed it, turning adrenaline into action. There was no room for hesitation. Every second counted as the storm drew closer. The speed of the storm's approach was unnerving. One moment, the horizon was distant. The next, it was swallowed by darkness and wind. The Arctic doesn't do things by halves. When it decides to test you, it does so with its full force, leaving no doubt about who is in control. As we secured the last lines, the wind began to howl. The sound was wild and raw, echoing across the deck and through the rigging. The show was about to begin. We could feel the anticipation in the air, a mix of dread and awe at the power about to be unleashed. We braced ourselves, knowing the real test was coming. Every muscle tensed, every sense alert. We waited for the first blow. The calm was over. The Arctic had given its warning, and now, we had no choice but to face what was coming. The storm hit with terrifying speed. The wind became a deafening roar, the sea a chaotic frenzy. Waves towered around us, crowned with whitecaps ripped away by the gale. Our sturdy boat was tossed like a toy. Visibility vanished. We were trapped in a swirling vortex of gray and white. The boat's motion turned violent, unpredictable, each wave a new threat. Inside the wheelhouse, Lars fought to keep our bow into the waves. A single mistake could mean disaster. Maria monitored the engine, our only hope of control. Every crash of water over the bow sent fear spiking. The windows were awash with green water, each impact a brutal reminder of our vulnerability. The ocean was trying to tear us apart. We were in a fight for our lives. The enemy, the raw, relentless power of the Arctic Sea. The waves grew vertical, sheer cliffs of water rising from the churning sea. Each ascent was a battle, the boat climbing impossibly steep faces before plunging down. When waves broke over the bow, it was like being struck by a solid wall. The hull shuddered, the deck submerged, then we'd surface, just in time for the next onslaught. The cycle was relentless, the psychological toll immense. The world tilted at impossible angles. There was no horizon, only chaos. Every groan of the hull, every creak was a warning. If we couldn't shed water fast enough, we risked capsizing. We were pushing the boat, and ourselves, to the limit. The waves were monsters, intent on dragging us down. Survival was no longer guaranteed. The wind gauge screamed past 70 miles per hour, hurricane force. Then, a rogue wave struck, a freak, monstrous wall of water. The impact was catastrophic, throwing the boat sideways. I crashed into the wheelhouse bulkhead. The world turned on its side. For seconds, we hovered past 90 degrees, windows underwater. Time slowed. Lars fought the helm. Maria braced below. Water burst through a hatch, flooding the cabin. I was certain we were going over. Then, with a groan, the Northern Wanderer began to right herself. Inch by agonizing inch, we rolled upright, soaked, bruised, terrified, but alive. The engine still ran. The fight wasn't over. We had survived the worst the storm could deliver. The near capsize shocked us into action. Water flooded the cabin, a hatch leaked. We had to move fast. Instinct and training took over. Lars kept us steady at the helm. Maria checked the engine and bilge pumps. I crawled onto the deck, clipped to the jackline, fighting freezing spray to reach the damaged hatch. My fingers numb, I lashed it down with David's help, using rope and a winch. Communication was hand signals. The storm drowned out all words. A wave crashed over us, but our harnesses held. We worked as one. Survival dependent on teamwork. Every task was brutal, exhausting, but necessary. The deck was a death zone, but we couldn't hesitate. Our shared purpose kept us going. In the Arctic, your life depends on the person beside you. We fought on, together. Surviving the storm was a total sensory assault. The wind shrieked, waves boomed, the boat groaned, a relentless symphony of destruction. Visually, the world was a blur of gray chaos, sea and sky merging. No horizon, only violent motion. The cold seeped in, sapping strength, every movement a struggle. Impacts felt like constant car crashes. Fear was ever present, but we pushed it down, operating on adrenaline and training. Moments of terror alternated with intense focus. Through it all, awe at nature's raw power persisted. We were witnessing something elemental, even as it tried to destroy us. Survival meant enduring, minute by minute. The storm raged on through the night, 70-mile-per-hour winds, monstrous waves. Darkness made it worse. We couldn't see the waves coming. We operated blind, relying on sound and feel. Shifts at the helm, no real rest, just conserving energy, wedged in bunks, praying the hull would hold. Every hour survived felt like a victory. Teamwork was everything. We forced each other to eat, drink, and take turns at the wheel. Encouragement was shouted over the roar. Exhaustion and despair crept in, but the team's spirit kept us going. We were a chain, only as strong as our weakest link. The storm forged us into a family. Through the longest, darkest night, we held the line together. Survival was a shared struggle. We waited for dawn. Dawn came as a subtle shift, blackness softening to bruised purple, then gray. The first light crept across the battered deck, revealing the aftermath of the storm. It was a quiet, almost sacred moment, as if the world itself was pausing to catch its breath. The waves were still immense, but less vertical. The wind's shriek faded to a howl. The worst was over, but the sea still reminded us of its power with every rolling swell. Relief washed over us. We had survived. There were smiles, shaky laughter, and a few tears. The tension that had gripped us for hours finally began to ease. The boat was battered, deck tangled with ropes, a solar panel gone but afloat. Every scar on the hull told a story of the night we just endured. We were exhausted, bruised, but safe. Each of us felt the weight of fatigue, but also a deep gratitude for one another. In the wheelhouse, we sat in silence, understanding what we'd endured. The silence was heavy, filled with unspoken words, and shared glances that said more than any speech could. The Arctic had taught us hard lessons. First, respect nature's power. Out here, the elements are always in command, and humility is your only shield. No matter your preparation, you're always a guest here. The Arctic is vast, indifferent, and it never hesitates to remind you of your place. Second, survival depends on teamwork. Every hand, every voice, every effort matters when the storm rages. Alone, none of us would have made it. Isolation breeds danger, but unity brings hope and strength. Lars's skill, Maria's diligence, our combined effort, every role mattered. Each person's actions, big or small, wove together the fabric of our survival. The storm forged us into a unit. We became more than a crew. We became a family, bound by shared struggle. Our greatest strength was each other. In the face of the wild, it was our unity that kept us afloat. I'll carry these lessons on every expedition. The Arctic's wisdom is hard-won, but it shapes you forever. Never underestimate the wild or the will of a united crew to survive. Out here, survival is earned, and every dawn is a victory.